How you doing, folks? I'm Gary and this is the Cultic Drummer. How you doing, folks, and welcome back to another of the restarted episodes here on the channel. And if you're new to the channel or haven't been on for a wee while, maybe just revisiting, if you like this video after you've sort of watched till the end and you've watched through some of the other content and it's given you a wee smile, please hit the subscribe button and help the channel grow. Any questions, drop them in the comments below and give us a like on the channel, guys, on this video. Last time out I looked at a Glen Murray, done plenty of Glen Murray over on the channel, and tonight what I thought I would do is jump on and grab a bottle of Talisker. Again, I've done other Talisker on the channel before. In fact, I'm looking over it, there's a bottle sat there. Talisker 10 we've had on the channel before, we've looked at that, we've talked about Talisker before. I just thought this one we would grab, and this is called Talisker Skye. So it's a non-age statement whisky. As we know, non-age statement whiskies in Scotland is going to be a minimum of 3 years old. What we'll do, we'll get some of this one in the glass and then we'll have another wee chat. Now, I can't actually remember the exact price this one was. It was bought for me by my son for my birthday earlier this year. But I believe it's in sort of 30 to 40 pound sort of range. Again, so it's one of your more accessible, decently priced whiskies, along with a lot of other Talisker drams that you're going to get. The ABV that comes out in these is, if you can see it, 45.8%, which is pretty common in Talisker. There we go, there's an arm in there. Again, 45.8%. So it's got a sort of a decent ABV on that one. With a lot of these ones, you know, you're not getting the mentions of chill filtering or colour added and all this sort of things. So, you know, there's a bit of jiggery pokery going on with these drums. And there was something else I was going to say, and it's going to clean out my head, so I can't actually remember what it was. Hey. So Skye is a lot. Yes, if you've watched the other channels, and if you know what you're doing with your whiskey, you know Skye is an island off the west coast of Scotland. When I say it's an island, it's now attached to the mainland by a big bridge. It used to be marketed as, I don't think I've got any old Talisker bottles lying around here. It used to be marketed as the only distillery on the Isle of Skye, and it's now marketed as the oldest distillery on the Isle of Skye because they have a new distillery over there. When I say new, another distillery which is built quite recently, and that is Toravaig Distillery. And if anyone can see it, oh, wait a minute, there's a bottle of Toravaig sat there on the shelf. So Toravaig is the second distillery over in Skye, so Talisker is now marketed as the oldest whisky in Skye. I think actually if you go on to Malt channel, if you've not been on not Malt channel, Malt website, I did a review of Toravaig. I wrote a review of Toravaig on that website, and I think I mentioned in there about the changing in branding for Talisker and the oldest and newest and everything else. So you might want to pop over onto Malt and have a wee read of that one. Anyway, so we've got this one in the glass, and let's have a wee sniff at this. I'm taking it all in there because I've got a wee thing about Talisker, and I love the smell of Talisker. Doesn't matter what it is, it can be your lowest level Talisker at a few pound up to your top ends of Talisker. And I've always got something about the nose. Talisker has a wee sort of sub-branding on it somewhere if I can find it. Yeah, and it always is made by the sea. Does it say on that? It says on the other ones. It's got this thing about made by the sea. So there's always for me this saltiness about a sort of saline sort of thing in it. I think again I wrote an article once for one of the websites, and I described it was Talisker Storm, and I described it as being like standing on the upper deck, the open upper deck of a ship going through a storm, and you were getting slapped in the face by the salt, the waves and all that sort of stuff. There's just something about that sort of seafaring angle there that goes with me and Talisker, and the saltiness and things like that. So the made by the sea sort of strap line for Talisker, I think it's quite good. It's a nice wee play there. And that's how, when you get your nose into a wee thing of Talisker, for a lot of people, some people get put off by it, but not by me. I kind of almost want to dive in there. I'd be wearing a life jacket, of course. But yeah, there is a deepness about that. There is that saline salt coming through, and it's actually making me quite sort of parched and want to get a wee sip going. Yep, and there it is. Slightly watery. You know, it's at your lower levels on your Talisker, so there is a bit of wateriness about there. But straight off, it comes in, you take it in, and that the receptors, they hit up to the brain, and I start getting the old visions of the ox blood red wingback chair, you know, your grandfather sat there and he's had his pipe going and everything. You know, there's that meaty tobacco-ness coming through on it as well. Salty again. It's almost a sourness. I'm getting that sort of at the buckle of my mouth. I'm getting a wee bit of a sour play on me as well. But yeah, straight off, you know, there's what some people say is like an ashtray, you know, and they don't like that. You know, it's the old Marmite effect, isn't it? You love it or you hate it. I'm a lover. I'm just looking at this sort of the glass here. It's got some. I said it was watery. It was watery on the chest, but I'm looking at it. There's quite a. What's that V word again? But yeah, it's got nice, sort of semi-decent legs on it there, coming down the side of the glass. Yeah, there's that thing about sort of peaty whiskies and that harshiness, ashtray, smoky pipe, tobacco thing. You know, you love it, you hate. There's some people starting to go on about tattoos. They get addicted to tattoos because a tattoo, you know, there's a pain, and you're like, shit, that was sore. And then a week later, you're booking yourself in for your next tattoo. Yeah, it's that kind of thing. You take a drink of some of these whiskies, particularly your peaty ones and stuff like that, and it's like, oh shit, that's horrible. Better pour myself another glass. You kind of become addicted to it, and I quite like it. Yeah, definitely. That's for the price of it. That's a semi-decent draft. Yeah, Talisker Skye, 48.5%. And I honestly, without going off and checking and sitting banging out the figures, it was in the region of 40 quid, give or take. So it's not any big major damage to your pocket. And again, it's another little nice one to have there, sitting, that you can pour and have a dram without actually worrying about Christ and paying out all that money for a dram here. It's decent enough to sit by the fire and not overly draw you away from whatever you're reading or whatever you're watching, whatever you're listening to. Not bad. Talisker Skye, guys, if you get a wee chance, give that one a wee bash. You might quite enjoy it. Lunch.